welcome back to our channel. Today, we continue following the deeply emotional journey of Toan and Diem. After settling into life at the new farm, Tuan has slowly begun to recover his memory and reconnect with important moments from his past. During a visit to Tuan's farm, Tuan suddenly recalls precious memories he shared with Diem. The memories come rushing back, but they're also accompanied by intense headaches that leave him feeling dizzy and overwhelmed. Still, once those memories return, he finds a sense of peace and happiness he hasn't felt in a long time. Will Toan continue his journey of rediscovering the past and building a new future with Diem? To find out, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next chapters of this story. Stay with us and feel free to share your thoughts and emotions in the comments. In the warm atmosphere of the morning, Toan and Diem are busy finishing the last parts of the bathroom. The wooden doors are already in place, and the space is slowly becoming brighter and cleaner. Diem smiles with satisfaction as she looks at what they've accomplished, while Toan carefully focuses on every small detail. Working together makes the job more enjoyable, and their laughter echoes through the peaceful farm. Suddenly, the sound of a motorbike engine can be heard in the distance. A moment later, Thu appears at the gate. She smiles, walks closer, and asks, "Do you need any help?" Both Toan and Diem smile and shake their heads. "Thanks, sis, but we're doing fine," Diem replies, her eyes shining with excitement as she thinks about what's ahead. "Well then, once we're done with the bathroom, we'll go get a haircut and visit Tuan," Diem adds. Hearing that, Thu's eyes light up. She knows these are precious moments that Toan and Diem will truly enjoy together. They're not just companions, but people who are deeply connected, always standing by each other, no matter how hard life gets. Today, Thursday, notices a change in them. After so many days of hard work, they can finally allow themselves some rest. "Then take today off Thursday," says gently. "Don't worry about the harvest. Just enjoy life and take care of yourselves." With those words, Diem and Toan look at each other and nod in agreement. They know this is the moment to slow down, relax, and appreciate the small but meaningful moments they've built together. Today, there's no need to worry about work, only to enjoy the peace they've created. After Thu leaves the small house of Toan and Diem becomes peaceful again, they continue working on the bathroom, feeling lighter and more energized. Each brick is carefully set in place, and smiles remain on both of their faces. Working side by side, they feel more connected than ever, as if quietly believing that everything will be okay as long as they stay together. Diem looks up at Toan, her eyes filled with appreciation. "Thank you for always being there for me and building this life with me," she says softly, her voice full of emotion. Toan turns to her with a warm smile. "Thank you for staying by my side," he replies. "You're the reason I keep pushing myself every day." His hands continue laying the bricks carefully as he speaks. During their breaks, they talk about the future and the plans they want to carry out together. No matter how many challenges life brings, they believe that as long as they have each other, they can get through anything. They don't need much, just love and mutual support. With encouragement from Thu, her mother, and Tuan, they feel even more confident in their journey. We'll make this dream come true together. Diem says, her eyes shining. Toan nods, holding her hand tightly in agreement. Absolutely. We'll never give up on our dream. With that belief, they keep working, not only building their home, but also shaping the future they both dream of. These simple yet meaningful moments become a solid foundation for a new life where they will face every challenge together and build a truly happy life. As Toan sits down in the barber's chair, Diem sits beside him, her eyes never leaving him. The long strands of hair are trimmed neatly, and Toan looks into the mirror, his expression confident, but slightly shy. Diem can't help but smile at how handsome he looks. His features seem sharper under the skilled hands of the barber. You look really good. Diem whispers, her eyes filled with joy and pride. Toan turns to her with a warm smile. Thank you. You always make me feel more confident, he replies. The exchange is short but sweet, instantly warming the space around them. Their affection doesn't need fancy words, just a look, a smile, and simple gestures are more than enough. When the haircut is finished, Toan looks at himself in the mirror once more, feeling a sense of change and freshness he hasn't felt in a long time. The barber wipes his hands and steps closer, holding up the mirror so Toan can see the final result. Toan nods in satisfaction and turns to Diem. I really like it. Thank you for bringing me here, he says. Diem smiles brightly. I like it too. You look so sharp. They both stand up. Diem takes out her wallet and hands the barber the payment. Thank you. We'll come back next time, she says gently. The barber smiles and gives her the change. As they leave the barber shop, everything feels lighter. Toan and Diem step outside hand in hand. And as always, they don't need many words. Being together is more than enough. After Toan steps outside to enjoy the fresh air of the farm, Diem and Tuan stay behind, sitting together and talking about their current life and future plans. Both of them feel relieved and happy as life is finally settling down, and a sense of family warmth has returned after months of hardship. Diem begins the conversation. Sister Tuan, I really want to thank you for everything you've done for our family. Toan is doing much better now, and we've settled into life on the farm. We'd like to invite Auntie and Thu over for a family meal just to thank them for all their help. Tuan smiles, looking at Diem with warm eyes. I'm happy to see you two doing so well. You've truly found the right path. And don't forget to invite me and Thu too. We'll have a small meal together and spend some time catching up. Diem smiles, her eyes lighting up. Of course. I'll make sure everyone is invited. We'll prepare a really nice meal so we can all enjoy being together. More than anything, I know how meaningful your help, Thu's support, and Auntie's care have been to Toan and me. Their conversation continues in a gentle, warm atmosphere. Diem feels the closeness and affection from Tuan, and it gives her even more confidence in the path she and Toan have chosen. Everything feels more stable now, and she can look toward the future with hope and trust. Suddenly, Tuan glances out the window, sunlight pouring into the garden in front of the house. You two have done really well, she says encouragingly. Don't worry, everything will be okay. We can support each other, and our unity will help us get through any challenge. Diem looks at her, her heart filled with warmth and gratitude. "Thank you, sis. I truly feel lucky to have you here." As Tuan stands up, she turns back to Diem with a gentle smile. "I'm really happy to see you both doing well. And remember, if you ever need anything, just come to me. I'm always here to help." This quiet tea time isn't just a moment to talk about work and daily life. It's a deep emotional connection between the two sisters. Diem feels renewed strength and motivation to continue her journey with Toan, building a new life full of hope, not only for themselves, but for everyone they love. Toan stands quietly in the yard, his eyes fixed on the lush green fields stretching into the distance, the wide farmland belonging to Tuan. The scenery feels unfamiliar, completely different from anything he remembers seeing before, and it leaves him feeling unsettled. Deep inside, a sense of unease rises as if fragments of memory are trying to return but keep slipping away. He stands there, feeling the calm around him, yet also carrying an indescribable confusion. Suddenly, a sharp headache hits him, making him dizzy. The pain feels like a wave crashing into his head, blurring the sights and sounds around him. He raises a hand to his forehead, his head spinning. In that moment, flashes rush through his mind, familiar places, familiar faces, familiar voices, but they're hazy, like a light drizzle that appears briefly and then fades. As the pain slowly eases, a piece of memory suddenly breaks through Diem's smile, the image of her standing in the afternoon sunlight, holding a basket of vegetables and the warmth she always brings. He remembers moments with her, the happy times they once shared. Tuan takes a deep breath, his eyes widening clearer than they've been in a long time. A sense of calm washes over him, as if an important piece has finally fallen back into place. The fog lifts, and his memories begin to come into focus. He quickly heads back inside, unable to stop smiling. When he reaches the table where Diem and Tuan are sitting, they both look at him with concern. "Are you okay?" Diem asks, softly, her voice full of care. Tuan sits down and looks into Diem's eyes, then turns to Tuan. "I remember," he says, his voice low, but filled with emotion. "I remember you, Diem, and everything we've been through." Diem smiles with pure happiness, her eyes shining with joy. While Tuan watches them, the understanding and happiness in her gaze impossible to hide. The three of them sit there wrapped in the warm atmosphere of the house, and in that moment, Toan and Diem's lives quietly turn a new page. The memories have returned, and Toan knows that no matter what the future holds, he won't have to face it alone anymore. The room grows quiet after Toan's words. For a brief moment, no one speaks. The only sounds are the faint rustling of leaves outside and the soft ticking of an old clock on the wall. Diem is the first to move. She leans forward slightly, as if afraid that if she stays still, this moment might disappear. Her hands rest on the edge of the table, fingers gently curled. You really remember?" she asks again, her voice careful, almost trembling. "Not just a feeling, but us." Tuan nods slowly. "Yes," he says. "Not everything, not all at once, but enough." He pauses, choosing his words. Enough to know who you are to me. Enough to know what we've built together. Diem exhales a breath she didn't realize she'd been holding. Her eyes fill with tears, but she doesn't cry. Instead, she smiles a soft, relieved smile that carries months of waiting. I was scared to ask, she admits quietly. Scared that if I pushed too hard, you'd get hurt again. Or worse, lose yourself all over. Tuan reaches across the table without thinking. His hand finds hers naturally, like muscle memory returning before his mind fully catches up. I know, he says. I felt that. Even when I couldn't remember, I could feel how careful you were with me. Tuan watches them closely. Her expression, calm, but deeply attentive. She has seen many things in life, hardship, loss, recovery. And she knows moments like this are fragile. How much do you remember? She asks gently. Tuan turns to her. Pieces, he says honestly. Small things at first. Her laugh. The way she looks at me when she thinks I'm not paying attention. The farm, the mornings, working together. He presses his fingers lightly against his temple. Some memories come with pain, like my head is fighting them. But others, they feel warm, safe. Tuan nods as if she expected that answer. That's normal, she says. Your mind has been protecting itself. Memories don't always come back cleanly. Sometimes they arrive slowly when you're ready. Diem squeezes Tuan's hand. You don't have to remember everything right away, she says. We can take it slow, one day at a time. Tuan looks at her eyes steady. I want to remember, he says firmly. Not just the past, but how to move forward. With you. The words land softly, but carry weight. Tuan clears her throat, breaking the intensity just enough to let everyone breathe again. You know, she says, with a small smile, when I first saw you two working on that bathroom this morning, I thought, they look like a real family already. Diem laughs, quietly wiping at the corner of her eye. We still have a long way to go, she says. Everyone does, Tuan replies. But you're not running anymore. That matters. She leans back in her chair. Tuan, she continues. There's something you should understand. Recovery isn't just about memory. It's about trust in yourself and in the people around you. Tuan nods. I trust her, he says without hesitation. Diem's smile deepens. And I trust you, she replies. Even on the days when you don't trust yourself. Another quiet pause settles over them. Then Tuan speaks again. There's something else, he says. When I was outside, before the headache, I felt strange. Like the land itself was unfamiliar, but also familiar at the same time. Tuan's eyes sharpen slightly. That land belonged to our family for generations, she says. Even if you don't remember the details, it wouldn't surprise me if something inside you recognized it. Tuan thinks about that. Maybe that's why it felt so heavy, he says. Like it was pulling something out of me. Diem shifts closer to him. When it hurts, she says softly, please tell me. Don't try to handle it alone. I won't, Tuan promises. I don't want to disappear again. The word disappear hangs in the air. Tuan reaches across the table and places her hand over both of theirs. You won't, she says firmly. Not if we're here. Diem nods. We're here, she repeats. The tension in the room slowly dissolves into something warmer. Not excitement, not relief alone, but quiet stability. After a moment, Diem chuckles softly. You know, she says, we were talking earlier about inviting everyone over for a meal. Auntie Thu all of us. Tuan raises an eyebrow. A big family meal, he asks. Yes, she replies. To say thank you. And maybe. She hesitates, then smiles. To celebrate this, Toan considers it. I'd like that, he says. It feels right. Tuan smiles knowingly. Food has a way of grounding people, she says, reminding them where they belong. Tuan looks around the room again. The simple furniture, the sunlight filtering through the window, the familiar faces. For the first time in a long while, he says quietly, I feel like I belong somewhere. Diem rests her head lightly against his shoulder. You always have, she whispers. They sit like that for a few seconds, not speaking, just existing together. Then Tuan stands. I'll let you two have some time, she says gently. But remember tonight, get some rest. No heavy work. Diem laughs. Yes, sister, she says. Tuan smiles as well. Thank you, he says sincerely. Tuan pauses at the doorway and looks back at them. One more thing, she adds. Don't rush the future. Let it come to you. With that, she steps out, leaving the room quiet once more. Toan turns to Diem. Are you okay, he asks. She nods. I am, she says. I just didn't expect today to turn out like this. Neither did I, Toan admits. But I'm glad it did. He takes her hand again. Even if I forget things. Sometimes, he says, promise me you'll remind me. Diem smiles through tears. I promise, she says, as many times as it takes. They sit together, in silence, the kind that doesn't need filling. Outside, the farm continues its slow rhythm. Wind through leaves, distant birds, the quiet certainty of life moving forward. Inside, 3 lives have shifted gently but permanently towards something new. Not perfect, not easy, but real and together. As the afternoon slowly fades into evening, the house settles into a quiet calm. The sunlight softens, casting long shadows across the wooden floor, and the warmth of the day lingers in the air. Toan and Diem remain seated together, not speaking much, but feeling something rare and precious, a sense of certainty. For the first time in a long while, there is no fear hanging over them, no urgency, no need to rush forward or look back. Just this moment, steady, honest, and real. Tuan glances around the room once more, taking in every small detail. The table where they've shared meals, the window that lets the morning light in the quiet sounds of the farm outside. These things may seem simple, but now they feel meaningful. Anchors, proof that life is slowly finding its balance again. Diem notices the look on his face. What are you thinking about? She asks softly. Toan smiles a calm, genuine smile. I'm thinking that even if the road ahead isn't easy, he says, I'm not afraid anymore. Not when I have you. Not when I have people who care. Diem reaches for his hand and holds it tightly. We'll face it together, she says. One step at a time. Outside, the sky begins to change colors, signaling the end of another day. Not dramatic, not loud, but quietly meaningful. Just like the journey they've been on, what lies ahead for Toan and Diem is still unknown. His memories may continue to return in fragments. Challenges may surface again. Life, as always, will test their strength. But something has changed. They are no longer walking through uncertainty alone. This moment marks a new beginning, not because everything is suddenly perfect, but because they've chosen to move forward together with honesty, patience, and trust. And sometimes that choice is enough.